All right, I'm doing an early recording, earlier than I normally do because I've got a bunch of work to do today, and I'm not going to have the ability to do this in the afternoon. So I'm releasing this a little early. And normally, what I do is when I trade my period that I'm looking for, and then I quit for the whole day, and I just go do something else. And it's part of my way of managing my emotions when I trade. It's my methodology of making sure that I'm always staying neutral. I get away from the market and go do something else. And that, when you're a developing trader, you don't want to hear that. You think that just sounds like a good idea, and it sounds like a trick, right? It sounds like a trick. But really, it's more when you're able to do it, it's more like proof that you're not trying to extract something out of the market that you're not ready to have. And you're less likely to make mistakes when you have the ability to just turn off the charts and go to something else, and your mind isn't constantly racing back to the chart. Well, how did it turn out? What did it do? Did it make my target? Did it get to my stop? Blah, 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 blah. All those things that we do as traders, those mistakes we make, frankly, in process. I'm a big guy that believes in process, and I think process wins the day. I don't think trade systems win the day. I don't think indicators win the day. None of that wins the day. Those are just ways of organizing information. But if your process can't effectively handle that, then there's really just no reason to even try. That's something I focus on. So my process is that I isolate the daily range, the 1 hour PD arrays, the 15 and 5 minute breakers, and I wait for time of day. That's my top-down preparation. So I want to get right into the charts this morning and show you exactly what I did and how I prepared. Now, I'll bring up my preparation chart, my preparation slides, and I'll tell you, on Fridays, we expect there to be sideways chop. It's Friday, so chop and reversion are expected. Every Friday, that's what I expect. There are some exceptions to that, but those exceptions are not ones that I'm going to be, usually going to be part of. I just expect it to be reversion and chop. It's the wick being formed on the week, right? The overnight has rallied through the weekly bearish fair value gap high, and the hourly and the 15-minute time frames are respecting its location. So that was the first indication of a retracement. The dollar is sideways and gold is rallying on NQ's rally. So potential for chop and reversion. The only displacement is up. So that means that the bias is up. Bullish, I guess you want to say. NQ and ES are outperforming YM, but NQ is much stronger than ES. The two bias elements we have that lean short are, well, it's actually three, are Friday being at the daily range and holding price at the bearish fair value gap high, and the bullish indications of the lack of displacement lower and the displacement higher. So let's look at the actual charts. As you look at the day time frame, this is what I was saying, where the hourly is respecting that fair value gap high. So that's good in terms of a bearish lean. Then you see here the premium and discount references between the daily range high and low. It's easy. I've laid them out here for where the order blocks are. And one of the challenges with today, and that's what I really want to get to today, one of the challenges with today is you say, well, wait a second. We got two pieces of information that lean bearish. It's Friday, so I'm not expecting much more expansion to the high side, if any at all. But what do I have to suggest that I should be short? And the answer is nothing. You really have nothing yet to suggest that you should be short. So then you flip the ball to the other side and you say, okay, well, should I be buying in premium on the week if I'm seeing bearish signals being respected? And that is a discretion choice for every trader. So there's no right answer to that. I can just show you what my choice was. First of all, what I saw, and I'm coming into the 5-minute chart, is you see that I have this breaker here with my risk outlined into the London session. And as I narrate the session, I see that the London session low has not been taken. There's no displacement been taken. So I'm thinking, okay, if at 9:30 I get an attack on my discount array inside of my order block, then I think that is a qualified buy. Do I want to take it? That's for you to decide. I can tell you what I did. But that's qualified. Then what I would want to see once that happened is I would want to see a PD array get created in premium relative to the one that was tested in discount. That's exactly what happened. So as you play this out, you can see this on the 5 minutes, much more clear on the 5 minute, but I will look at it on the 1 minute and show you play by play exactly what I did and how I did it. Number one, I want to say and tell you that I was not part of this run. I was not part of this run, but I called this relative equal high as my target. That's what I expected to see happen. I expected to, roughly to say that we would turtle soup these lows into the PD array at 9:30, and that we would run out these highs. And the reason I was not the reason I did not stay, or my initial trade did not stay in it, is because I executed as we penetrated into this area, and then I scaled as we went up because we were chopping. My belief was, this is Friday. This is reversion territory. This is chop territory. So I'm divorcing trades that don't do exactly what I think they should do. So when we got to here, when we got to here and we failed, I moved my risk up and I was taken out right there. And then it moves higher. It waits for 10 o'clock, of course. And what do you see at 10 o'clock? It pushes higher, and it really does look like it's going to go higher. And then it does this move here into 10:09. And so at that point in your mind, you might be saying, well, wait a second. Oh, crap. This might be done. This might be over. No, we are looking for failed displacement. The information that we were using to decide that we could stay long was actually the closes on the 15-minute. Where did we close? Let me give you an analysis. You probably may or may not use this information, but I hope it's helpful to you. You see this close below the mean threshold of the fair value, or consequent, I don't care, the middle of the fair value gap. Now that's bearish. But then you see this close, and that's non-information. If anything, it supports the bearish bias. But I'm in a long, okay? Then you see this close above it. Now, it didn't close above this. That would have been very bullish. But it only closed above the fair value gap. That's bullish. So if I want to look back in here again, I can. So then I watch the next close at 10 o'clock, the turning point, algorithmic turning points that I care about. Where do we close at? Just below the mean threshold. And you go, or the middle. I hate that. I really do hate that. But it left a fair value gap, or a breaker there. So what am I thinking? As soon as I see this close here that opened at 10:15, so go to 10:15, you open right here. At this point, I can re-engage. As soon as it makes that high, I can re-engage my breaker that was already there. And that's exactly what you'd want to do here. And I watched it run all the way through the buy side. That is my model. My model works perfectly. I love it. It's very logical. It's not easy. Like, look at this chop. It is chop and reversion. Do you want to sit through this? I don't want to sit through this. It's mental capital. It just extracts mental capital like there's no tomorrow. And I have no interest in doing that. I want fast moves. This is not a fast move. So I don't need to trade so bad that after I gotten out and had made a profit on the day, that I'm willing to do anything more. In fact, I'll show you the execution. Show you exactly what I did. That's not the right button. Why am I confused? Why do I not see what I expect to see? Where's the buy? Oh, no, I'm relatively sure that I executed on this. Well, I'm afraid that I don't see what I expect to see. And I don't know why. Huh. Bizarre. Well, it was sim anyways. It doesn't really matter. I'm not concerned about it. Filled 17,176. So yeah, you're seeing this real time. That's the sell. Where's the buy? 189. It's not showing this. I don't understand why it's not doing that. Am I doing something wrong? Trading. Bizarro. It's not showing what I did. I'm not 100% sure why that is. Well, okay, well that's embarrassing, but I don't really care because it just is what it is. Unless I'm just confused and I don't see, where do you sell from where there's no buy? Right? I mean, I'm not dumb. Regardless. No, it's not there either. Interesting. Well, regardless, the execution should be right here, and then the stop out was right on this. What was right on this bar right here? That's where I brought it up break even, and I was taken out, and I sat through it. So I'm not 100% sure why that's doing that. That's very odd. And see, now it's disappeared. It's gone. So I can't quantify that. I don't know why that's doing that, but that's the logic behind what it is. And in this, I've covered why you could have been long from this discount array, why I would have been knocked out, and why it would have been okay to recapitalize a breaker that had already been sort of invalidated by this 10 o'clock failure here. So for me, the kind of stuff I'm looking for, this is very valuable information. It's the reason that I focus on my process exclusively. I look for it to deliver every single day. I look for it to deliver logically. It's not always easy. In fact, a lot of times it's not easy, but it builds consistency. And I've done a lot of retail things. I've used indicators. I've had groups of people that I've worked with. And I can just tell you that there's nothing superior to the logic of the things that I'm doing now. In terms of for me, and what if I were to tell myself, something 5 years ago, if I was looking backwards, a lot of times you talk to people and they're just looking for this one piece of information to unlock everything else. I'll tell you what I think it actually is. It's process and it's logic. There is no ambiguity on how price moves. The information is a logical, mathematical sequence. And if you can parse it out with your process, as I can, as many traders who follow this kind of thing can, then you have a chance of being consistent. And really what you need to see, if you're going to hit home runs, if you're going to get singles, if you're going to build success with that kind of methodology, you have to see success that you predicted. You have to be able to look at the price and go, I think it will stop here and it will go there, and then and that will be the end of the move that I expect. You have to be able to see that on a consistent basis. If you can't, if you don't, you're never going to build any confidence with your ability to take trades. You will get into trades, they will move, they will go on side, they will get to a point at which you feel like it's offsetting your previous 10 losses, and then you're going to exit, you're going to get out, and you'll never see the scale move that you need to see in terms of a 1-to-1 loss turning into a 5-to-1 win. It'll never happen. I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, and I got to tell you, I've tried everything I possibly could to figure out how to hold on to winners. And just wanting to is not enough. Just being confident that it will get there is not enough. You have to have a process that consistently delivers that with logic that is disprovable every single time. If it is not disprovable, if you can't look at your logic and say, oh, this invalidates it before I get stopped, then there's no chance of ever building a process that you're going to be successful with. So this is Friday's rant, and I hope you're helped by this. This is how I traded the AM session of this morning. I apologize that my charts, are not showing what I expect to show here, but they're not, and so that sucks. But it is what it is. I truly hope that this was helpful to you, and until the next time, I'll talk to you soon.